Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to the channel. The message, guys, is stand your ground. So whatever you're grounding yourself in for this year, like whatever tone you set for the year, Spirit is saying just stand in that. Really try to ground that energy in this week. Message. So it's the first full week of the year, and we're tapping in to see what are the messages that we need to know for this week. Blessed to receive. So I like to thank the Most High, my angels, ancestors, ascended masters, for helping us tap into some clarity, some insight, and the ability to receive the messages that we need to receive. Protect me and the collective. Keep us in a protective bubble, keeping out any energies that is not allowed in this beautiful space of knowledge and clarity. Thank you, Holy Divine. All right, y'all. We're going to start off, see what the queens of hip-hop have for this week. What is the messages the collective needs to know? Spirituality with Miss Erica Badu. Defense, Miss Roxanne Shante. With Lauren Hill inspiration on the bottom. With luck under. Wow. So this week the message was ground. I heard stay grounded. So with spirituality and defense, this feels like protecting your energetic space, right? Like I said, whatever you grounding in, I feel that that's the energy for this week. So I feel like really embrace your spirituality, your meditating, your writing, your whatever you do, praying to stay connected. A good, deeper connection, it feels like this week. With this defense, it really feels like protect your spirituality this week, or really be in defense about it, meaning grounding that spiritual principle this week. I feel like something about these defenses just feels protective, right? When you're on the defense. So it just feels like protect your spirituality. Really ground that spiritual energy this week. So be inspired to connect spiritually. Something about grounding your spiritual intentions this week and really connecting. But this defense is so protect your spirituality this week. So we're gonna leave that as the message for the week. I love it. We getting into a cup of coffee, see what the cards being out, but seeing what the Holy Divine would like to focus on as the topic of the week. All right, so let's see, Holy Divine, what is the message for this first full week of 2026? All right, thank you. Hit the table, please. Anything else we need to know? Intimacy on the bottom. So reminiscing on self-love and family. This also feels like that being rooted in your spirituality, right? That's your home base. So this reminisce, I'm looking at intimacy on the bottom, like reminisce on your intimate connection with your family and your connection with yourself this week. Which goes back to that message, being grounded in your spirituality, which is you, right? A very much part of our connection to the divine. So something about really getting rooted and reminiscing on who you are and why you are is what I'm getting here. So to focus on that spirituality, it feels like it's a connection here with this reminiscing on your family and reminisce on your self-love. Why and how you love yourself has something to do with the family. Ooh, seems like Holy Divine. I want to get deep this week. All right, let's talk about it, Spirit. What is the message here about? Could be any one of these, whether it's defending our spirituality or reminiscing on family or reminiscing on our self-love connection, our inspiration. Wow. And I'm looking at it too now, y'all, as I got these 3 cards out. So the message here is, yes, Spirit is saying your spirituality is rooted in your family. Your defense nature of that, right? The way you protect your spirituality, or just the way you go about expressing your spirituality. This is what reminisce. So we're reminiscing on why we have this defensive nature. And it might not even be a connection to spirituality, but just really reminiscing on why do we have this defensive nature. And then self-love is under inspiration. So I feel like Spirit is saying, what is the deep roots? What is the inspiration of your love for yourself? What inspires you to truly love yourself? Wow. Love it. So first card out, Queen of Cups. So this could be the mother figure is what I'm getting. We're looking at family, spirituality. This is the most healing, right? Spiritual card to me, mothering nature in the deck. So something about the Queen of Cups to the 8 of Cups. So this is the diligence. I feel like, what was the connection with your mom, right? How was the relationship with the mother figures in your life? Specifically the woman that birthed you. I'm looking at the Hierophant, right? It's something about the connection with your mom. Gives you your structure, your rules, your regulations, your traditions. So we're looking at this week, there's a focus on really connecting with who you are and why you are. And the root of it, through your spirituality, connected to your family. It's through your parents. So this is the reminiscing. This is the going back. Spirit wants you to really reminisce on what put you in this defensive space. What was it that happened? What was it you had to really be strong about in your life and push through, right? What was it that gave you that defensive nature? Where you had to protect yourself, you could have had to be strong somewhere. So Spirit is saying that's where we need to go back and get some insight in. Something about that insight here this week is gonna make a connection. Is what feels like. What else is the message here? So we're getting to a space of getting to the answers, right? Spirit wants to address what could be hidden in the dark. You could be unaware of why your intimate relationships are the way they are, or why you have this defensive nature. So it just feels like it's time to address, but this could also be your fear, your anxiety of opening up. Or this is your anxiety, your fear of why you have the defense of nature. So Spirit wants to tear down that defensive structure. Trust in your spirituality, trust in your compassion, your healing nature, and know that Spirit guides you very well, but that they want you to put your sword down is the energy. They want someone to tap more into your healing, caring nature, where you can embrace who you are. But someone could be very protective of their heart, right? You could have been a people pleaser, someone that have just worked extra hard to extend yourself, give your time, your energy to people. So you've learned over time to protect yourself, where you've become very defensive. So now you could just be focused on your work, staying inspired. You could have closed your heart off to intimacy, and somebody just focused on self-love here. But I feel like Spirit saying it's time for somebody to get back on the scene. It's time for somebody to start back dating again. You could be missing out on some fun. It's the energy I'm picking up here now. Somebody been on a deadlock. Your heart was broken, but I feel like this is the foundation, right? Somewhere through your family, your mother, somebody broke you from the beginning. Yeah, this is your foundation. Somebody blocked your heart from the beginning, made you hold tight because of the struggle. This could have really been a financial struggle. This could have been a scarcity mindset. But this is the deep root of the pain. Starting from family, right? Your mother could have been brokenhearted. Your parents, your dad, your great-grandma, grandma, somebody was auntie, cousin. But there was some brokenness. Specifically, probably from the women. That showed you how to love, showed you how to nurture. So that's what Spirit's saying. Somebody got to go back and reminisce on this brokenness so you can heal it, Queen of Cups. It's time to heal that brokenness. Can't make it up. What two cards literally just hit the floor. So hit the floor, hit the table. So you seen it. So this is the encouragement. I feel like under Eight of Pentacles, you worked, you've earned this. You know, Spirit already know you're a diligent person. You're going to do what you got to do. But I feel like, again, this is you. Somebody, you just been in the house, but you just been going to work, going home. But you ain't really been putting that much energy in putting yourself out there, or if you have, it ain't been much, right? Every now and then you might step out, but I feel like the divine is saying it's time to put more energy into your love, your passion, than just your work. right? You could be just focused on loving yourself and getting your money. But it's time for somebody to get back on the scene a little bit. You know, start to feel fulfilled. But you deserve to feel on top of the world. So be determined to be accomplished, right? Spirit wants somebody to get out there and be accomplished again. Be seen, be heard. Can't make it up. Be seen, you know, for your heartbreak. I feel like this is Spirit saying it's time for you to, let somebody see you. They can't see you. You stuck in the house with that heart broken. Or this is you just defensive of your heart. This is you just stuck in the house protecting your heart. So that's what this is about. The healing of someone's heart this week. Reminisce on what made you broken in the first place, because someone's embarked on a new beginning here. You're being asked to close this cycle of suffering, specifically with the people that you've been in intimate relationship with, whether it was friends, specifically family, right? This is our first intimate relationship. That's why family is here. So it's time for you to end these karmic cycles, right? Where you are just hurt, failure, destroyed. But again, it's rooted in family. Somewhere your family showed you how to have intimate relationships. So I just get from the beginning, right? You've had a struggle with the people you loved in your life. So that's why you're being called to heal that. Really reminisce and go back and get clarity on what was it that first hurt you that started to make you be defensive when it comes to love. What's the Tower? Ooh. Can't make it up, huh? So that's what this is about. The healing of your heart. Spirit wants somebody to stop having these towers when it comes to love. This is relationships not lasting, or just despair, chaos when you in a relationship, right? Where you just end up heartbroken, suffering, pain. So Spirit is saying it's time for a new beginning, one where you trust in the unknown, trust that you can find better, trust in your dream, right, of being treated better. I know something, right? That's your passion. You want to be treated your best. So I just feel like Spirit is saying, don't be so defensive when it comes to love. That's what this message is about. Putting down the swords, putting down the wands. You don't have to be so defensive and constantly looking over your shoulder when it comes to love anymore. So trust that your spirit team got you, but you don't have to persevere and be so, right? These are both the defensive cards. That's what this is about, especially this one, but even this one, right? This is the vigilant, defending your thoughts, defending your actions. So that's the message, guys. Someone has to reminisce, go back, find out what was it that made me so defensive when it comes to love. What started making me put my swords up? That spirituality, whatever the belief is. Spirituality has a lot to do with belief, right? So that belief is rooted in your family, specifically the mothers in your life. How did they show you how to love? How did they nurture you? Right? Because we learn how to love through that nurture. So somewhere all of this maybe lack of nurturing, but it inspired you, or you was forced to love yourself. I feel like the pain you suffered from, this is what forced you to go within and just work on yourself. But now somebody has been stuck here is what it feels like. Somebody has just been stuck on loving themselves and developing your work. Somebody just been stuck on maybe healing themselves. But no, I feel like you've been encouraged to heal. Somebody has just been avoiding the healing. There we go. By working. That's the message. Yeah, somebody has been avoiding the healing by just working. This is something, you're trying to work to keep your mind off of dealing with the truth, which is the fact that you're hurt, that your relationships, right, are not turning out as you deserve. So Spirit is calling you. It's time for a new beginning where you are happy and on top of the world. Let's get some more messages for this from the career. Let's see, it popped out. Can't make it up. So this is about cutting ties. Specifically, a belief system. Whatever you was taught, whatever cord, right? I feel like this is your defensive nature. That, you got to cut the cord to that. It just feels like you no longer have to be defensive. You no longer have to, right, carry the sword. This is just you protecting yourself. So that's what I'm getting here. And it starts with cutting ties, right? That's why they want you to reminisce. Go back and see, where was it when you first started defending yourself? Start pulling that sword out when it comes to your heart. And once you receive that clarity, this is what's going to make you feel back on top of the world, because now you can heal, right? Once you know the spot, right? Once you know what's hurting, you can fix it. So this is why you're being called to really reminisce. Go back and see, where did I get this defensive nature? And that's where you can start the cord cutting, right? You cut it from the root. I love it. Another message here. So Spirit wants you to stay in the flow. Even once I'm looking at illumination, it's like once you receive this clarity, trust in the flow. It says the universe is sending you help. Tap into that inner power. Go deeper to create the purposeful life you really want to have. So this is why, this is the help I feel like Spirit is sending you. But this is you tapping into your inner power, receiving the clarity, trusting that you will be successful, right? This is you in the flow of going towards your purpose. So this is why Spirit said you have to heal, right? You have to cut ties so you can get back in the flow, basically. Right? This defensive nature could be keeping you heartbroken. And not just in relationships, but this could keep you in fear, anxiety. That's what I'm getting now, right? Just fear of taking new chances. That's what it's saying, right? Once you start defending, it's like now you in fear to take a leap. to trust yourself. So that's what it is. You got to get clear, because something about this fear, this anxiety is creating towers, making you destroy opportunities that you probably should have took a leap of faith on. Alright, so you being encouraged, Spirit trying to get you back in your flow. So this is why this feel like a healing message, right? So that you can get those chakras back in line and get back in your flow. Now let it hit the table, please. What other message here? Well, let's just take it. So journey. So it's all a part of the journey. But this is exploring. I feel like, Spirit wants you to be back in the flow of your purpose. So you can be successful, right? This is success, great determination. So this is why, you're being called to, get back in the flow, back in flow with your wealth. Get the table, holding line. What other message do they need to know here? They trying to move you on up. It's just simple as that to the world. Energy. Get you out of that trap. So they feel you trapped, right, in this broken space. But they trying to move you up, literally. Increase your power, increase your status, increase your success. Let's give them one more here. Hold the line. Hit the table, please. And there you go. Because you got some magic. You just meant to shine. You meant to feel on top of the world. You meant to trust in your magic and take those leaps of faith whenever you called. So you have power now. Use your magic to attract what you want into this life. The sky is the limit. That's the energy here. So Spirit wants you to heal so you can get magical. You already magical, but so you can tap back into your magic, right? Somebody might have stopped believing that they were magical and already abundant. Let's get some final messages here. Let's see what the Holy Divine wants here. So this is an opportunity of a lifetime to make this change. They took more than you know. So people in your past, the hurts, the pain, Spirit knows. That's that heartbreak, the towers. So it took more than you know. Count yourself in, not out. Keep going, keep steady. Spirit say the situation, it wasn't adding up. Let's get a final message. So pick up where you left off. That's, you just pick up. You coming out of karmic loop. So we just picked up the pieces. Spirit is saying, yeah. Hater lurks. So this just could have been, But your peace, Spirit is saying, is the best solution. So we're going to end with that on your peace, baby. So through it all, your peace is the best solution, and that's what the Holy Divine always want to get you back to, your personal peace. All right? Let's end with a quote. We got, whatever you have been putting off, don't procrastinate any longer. Tackle that long overdue project. You will feel better once you begin. Start with one thing at a time. Thoughts and ideas not acted upon are just laying in wait. You can do this. So hopefully this is another confirmation to stay inspired and trust in yourself and do your healing, because the more you release, put them gloves down, the more you're able to tap back into that creative space. I feel like this is why you being urged to address this defense nature, because you got to get back inspired to your ideas and creations. I love it. Hopefully this spoke, guys, and gave you some clarity at Divine Cosmic Soul Train, where we moving over here. Thank you for your blessings, your views, your likes, your comments, y'all. I love it. First week of 2026, we in here. All right, be blessed in your space.